Monday, October 21, market analysis, Stan Ehrlich. Good morning, 9:54 California time. We have some reversals today in the indexes that look promising. We'll go into detail in a few minutes, and you won't believe the story I can tell on the corn market. We have a new long, and we almost bought the low tick of the day, of the session. Corn. All right, so E-mini. We have a high today, which is just 59.15 and a half, a little under 59.15 and a half, exactly the same today as the previous day's session, which was Friday. So no bearish engulfing. The highs are identical. Super close. Currently down about 2 full points, or 19 and a quarter on the E-mini scale. And the low has already been lower than Friday's low and Thursday's low. So we're just barely missing a bearish engulfing, and we made lows lower than the 2 previous trading days. And the market did very badly on Thursday of last week when it made a new high for the whole trend, and this pretty much dropped like a rock, closing unchanged from the previous day and well below the 2 previous days earlier than that highs. Lousy close on the 17th. An attempt to make new highs didn't work on Friday, and today the same thing happened. The price range at which the market high is today has been the highs often, or close to it, 4 to 5 or 5 out of the last 6 days. If we close, I would say near today's low so far, or anything lower than that, I'm going to say 58.70 or under. You'll have a new low close for 4 of the previous 5 days, extremely close to a new low close for all of them, and a lower lows, maybe. I'd just love to see that happen. Remember, I'm looking for the October lows, which are just not surfacing so far. I've got nothing until today, a little bit, to hold on to show you that it's starting to move lower. This is just the teeny weeny start of something, maybe, but it's worth talking about. Now, the 1 minute chart, 5-minute chart, covering the last approximate 3 weeks, shows a tiny attempt to make it above Friday's high and just couldn't quite do it, same high. But look at that little spike on Thursday of last week. Boy, it was short-lived. And then it came all the way back down to close about unchanged from the previous day. Now another attempt up, the end of Friday and the beginning of this morning session. Couldn't quite do it, and we've now made lows lower than the last couple of days. This rally we're involved in right now seems to be fairly normal. If it stops pretty much in the ballpark where it is, maybe a little bit higher, and makes new lows after that, we could have something significant going on. So beware. But if it doesn't do that, and you're a diehard bull, and you might be right, so far you are, then this low is more likely than not it. And we're going to fiddle around and or continue to climb. And this week, we're going to see another set of new highs. But I'm not in that camp. I'm in the October lows. I want to really go down quite a bit. I hope in the spider, SPY 565 would be my minimum downside objective. I was really hoping to get down to 540, but boy, we have to have some sort of break here to do it before the end of the month, which is the Thursday of next week. So, next spider, 5-minute, no reversals, just the same looking double, triple type resistance area, spike, exhaustion, rally, rolling over. But that's the same as the E-mini pretty much. QQQ. We do have today a brand new red ERSignal. This could be very profound. We are starting to drop into the support area. We got to get below that, and that would be below 488. And that would also be making at the time pretty much new lows for over a week. And if we stay there and or go lower quickly, I'm going to like what I'm watching, but we're not doing it yet. But I think it could happen. I'm expecting something like that. The 5 minute chart, excuse me. We are now short ER1 overnight, and we were and took a profit already short ER1 scalp. A 5 minute chart, so give or take a few minutes. We're short at 7:40 this morning, California time, at almost exactly 494.32. And our scalp trade got out at 492.85 automatically. And that's that. That's your ER1 scalp, come and gone. We did change the kicker on the way down, so it was dropping faster. And instead of my default 1, I think I'm using a 0.7. Yeah, pretty sure. There it is right there, 0.7, 0.7. And that made it come down faster, which turns out at the moment to be the right thing to do. Now, the trade line for the current 1 overnight has a stop way up here. Hasn't even moved. I could change it now before I'm out of the trade to drop off some. My prerogative. I'm going to leave it the way it is. This is the default. It's meant to hold on to the trade maybe for days, if not weeks or months. I cannot tell how long a time period or how much lower this signal may generate. It's kind of by itself. I'd love to see the same kind of signals in other indexes at the same time, which does often happen, but not today. Next chart. NASDAQ, higher high than Friday, but we never got overbought lately. The last time was actually September 27th. And it did go down some. We had a sell signal a little late. That probably lost a little money. And then it went back up to new highs, resistance. And we do not have a outside day yet. If we make new lows, we'll have a bearish engulfing, which would be nice. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about a bear move that really hasn't shown much evidence of starting. So I'm trying to get my crystal ball clearer, and it's cracked up at the moment. So grain of salt. Now, NQ 5 minute chart. I'd love to say we're down here. Then I got a lot more to hold on to and be a lot more bearish. So if we start to go below 2205, yes, but it has to be today. Well, it could be the next day or two also. Next, YM, almost, not quite. Today's high is 43,578. And yesterday, the high of the whole trend was 45.81, and today's 78. We didn't make it. We're shy by 3 ticks, matching Friday's new historic high and an okay close. But we almost have a bearish engulfing, but we're overbought in this case within the allowable past number of days. So we had come super close to a red bearish engulfing ER sell signal today, but all we needed was just a few more ticks, and we didn't get it. So therefore, not red, but so close. Now, does that change my mind? Well, my opinion's my opinion. The code is the code. I don't have a sell signal, but my opinion is watch out. This is looking good. I like what I see. I wished it would have made the 3 ticks higher. Next, this is what it looks like on the 5 minute. It just came up to the same exact highs and couldn't do the trick. Shy by 3, I think. And that's it. New lows, couple of days. The rally is very modest so far, comparatively speaking. What do we got for the Russell? We've got a sharp drop on the daily chart, but I'm pointing out that this is 4 years. I wanted to show you this time how this resistance area that I've been talking about for weeks, months, pretty much a year, looks on the very long-term chart of 4 years. The bottom of the orange or yellow and the yellow line represent resistance for a couple of different reasons, but they're about the same prices. Once we got up into it back in July of last year, a couple of times, it dropped off. Almost resistance in August of last year, dropped off. And again, it got into the resistance in September of this year and dropped off. And we got just now, last few days, into the resistance again, about the same levels again, and it's dropping off. Why wouldn't I expect a low at least down to 2181 the last time, a few weeks ago, or to the bottom of this trading range, or the same lows approximately that we had in the last year? So maybe, 2066 down to 1957, call it 1960, in that zone I'm looking for. But I don't have really that much to say. We're only down this one first significant day. Here's the details. Couldn't make the higher high. Broke some support, not very much, very, very little. Passed the rally test, didn't make it, and dropped off sharply again this morning. And here we are fiddling around a little bit on a very minor bounce. Really, really, really needs to get down below 2180. Next, we've got the beans support held on today's break. Didn't bounce back very well, still down 49 ticks. So just a moment. Aha, that's not what I was looking at. Sorry. This is bonds. And the reason I have this old date here showing on the screen on the far right is September 27th, is because about here is when I drew this yellow line starting on September 24th, down and to the right, into the future, so to speak, to show you what I was thinking might happen time-wise and price-wise for the low to be generated to create what I think is now a very plausible double shoulder. The first shoulder was on October 22. Then we have the second shoulder, March 23. The bottom is the bottom, always the lowest low, October again, last year. Now we had a cluster of lows. I consider it one shoulder in general, because they average around the right time and point in time to be the first shoulder. And that was around September 29th, a month early, a month later. But looky here. Now I'm going to pull back out again. The forecast I have been making and made pretty much now, ED, past tense, was that the market was going to follow my yellow line in some way, shape, or form, getting down to that point in time, which is around the middle of October, and then start to go back up again, which hasn't happened yet. But look at this. Today, we almost got to the crux and support level that I was talking about. We are almost oversold again. We have a potential divergence, new low in the price, but not the indicator. We got to where, price-wise, I wanted to get to, and we got now, as close as you can get, to the time, to the day that I wanted to. All I need now is for the damn thing to turn back up. But obviously, talking about this turn, and when you're low and last, a new low for months, doesn't sound like the right thing to do. Let's see what happens. So I'm looking for the last shoulder low now, today, soon, around these prices this week. Somewhere around where we are, time and price, and for the whole thing to start to move back up. And if that's true, that's your last shoulder on a 2-year head and shoulder bottom with this neckline and a minimum upside objective. If the whole thing works, it's going to take a year, would be 140. About, make it simple, 139 and a half, whatever. About 140. Well, that's the longest term forecast I have made, I think, in a long period of time. I lied. My upside objective is not 140. Oh my gosh, okay, this is it. 150, sorry, This double shoulder, head and shoulder bottom, taking 2 years to form, and I think the last shoulder is now, if I'm right, has an upside objective. If everything, and there's a lot of things to have happen, is 150. Notes. Same story, timing a little different. Prices are not quite as low as I wanted. Could end up at a little double bottom here, sort of, but today is a little lower than the previous low, but not much. We were short. We had a great trade, and we still are short a ER13, sorry, right there, ER3, day after the signal. Not far from the high, overnight position, and we're still coming down. We are still short from almost the top. The high day was our signal, but this is an ER3. It can't and doesn't enter until about 1, 2, 3 days after the signal day. So the second day after, the day after, it entered the short. Great. And corn is going to be a double example of that, even a hell of a lot more accurately. Watch corn coming up. Crude sold a high day, stopped out on the rally on Friday, made good money. It's down a little bit more. It could be bottoming out. Don't see what I want to yet. Nowhere near oversold. I suppose it could drop off even more, but we had a great trade. That's it. I wait for signals. I'm basically still bearish, looking for support to be tested. Now, I could have slowed down my stop, but I hate doing that because you're taking less of a profit and or a larger loss. And I don't like to do that. I like to take a bigger profit and smaller losses. Next. We're out of this trade also in heating oil. It was a great ride. It's down. No, it's actually up a chunk more than the close, which is way below our offset. But it was a great trade. We'll see if it's bottoming out or not. Same thing as crude. Can't really tell yet. Maybe. Not oversold. No reversal. Just a doji at the moment. Natural gas. Very oversold. And here we go. Very oversold at a low of 14.5 or so. RSI. My custom ERSI. Lower low for the trend and close to previous lows made a month or so ago, August 28th, a couple of months ago. And it is trading higher on the day, substantially close to its high. And if it starts to make new highs, it could easily get above Friday's high. Bingo. We will have a green bullish engulfing ER buy signal in natural gas if it gets above Friday's high. We are currently out earlier today's session of our previous short, which was great profit. We sold short on the ER1 overnight signal October 4th, the top day of the market. We wrote it down. You saw it every day on my YouTubes until Friday when it rallied enough. Oh, this morning, I'm sorry, until it rallied enough to hit our stop, which had come down more because today's lows are significantly under all the other lows. So we actually captured more profit than we would have captured on Friday. Anyway, it's trading around where our offset was, a little under, and we'll see what happens here. But this is a perfect setup for a bullish engulfing, which has not happened yet. We'll see tomorrow. Overbought gold, second day, no sign of a topping yet. I got to maintain being bullish. It could go up another few days or even more than that. All I can say is I wouldn't buy it here. I never buy something unless it's incredible. I just don't when it's overbought like this. So I wait for a sell signal. What about silver? Same thing. Today is clearly above resistance 100% of the day or range session. And it looks like gold looked a couple of days ago. So bullish, going up. Not quite sure how much. You might do the double top measurement idea from the lowest low, which we bought, up to the average price of the two highs is how much? You take that amount and you just add it to the average price of the two highs, and you get a little bit of an objective measurement technique. Next, platinum, not the same story at all. In resistance, close to overbought, having having a negative day at the moment, not bad day, in resistance, trying to turn around close to overbought. That sounds to me like it's trying to reverse and start to slip lower. We'll see what happens. I can't be very sure about that, but it sure looks interesting. And now we go to high grade copper. We're out of our short position from an ER3 overnight position 2 days after the top of the market sell signal. We also had another sell signal a few days later. We have been holding in support. Now, we didn't get oversold. Sorry, we didn't get oversold, but support has done a good job. We are lower on the day right now, but today's high is the highest high for the previous 4 days. And it was finally enough to hit our stop. We're out. Great trade. Is it bottoming out? Maybe. I'd like to see it get a lot stronger quicker. We'll see what happens here. Soybeans. Corn coming up in a minute. You don't want to miss that one. I could talk about that for an hour. Soybeans. Oversold. Do we have a lower low today? 690, 969.00 today. And yes, it is one tick below 969 and a quarter yesterday, Friday's lows. So if we rallied enough to get above Friday's high, then we would turn green and it would be a bullish engulfing, but it's not happening at this point. That's what did happen back here on August 26th. And look what happened after that. Well, we had a small profitable or maybe a small loss trade on this sell signal, but there was still more strength. So I'm watching very carefully for bullish engulfings here, buy signals in soybeans. Soybean oil, support is holding, not quite strong enough to proclaim a low. We're out of a short that we made that was okay. It wasn't super profitable, but the green, there's our stop, and there's where we got short, and it made some money over about 4 days. Nothing great. I think maybe it's trying to turn back up, but there's no solid evidence of that. You got to understand, this is still a long-term bear trend. And as a result, only saving the day would be this last low here. But we didn't make higher highs when we last rallied strongly. So the highs are all lower. The lows have basically been lower. And there's only one last low to take out before it's very, very bearish, which I have a little trouble swallowing because it's very low already. And that was a low in June of 23. Was that June? May 31st of 23. All right. Meal. Kind of sideways, up a little bit. Basically bearish, looking for support to be tested under 300. All right. Corn. Sell signal on October 8th. One overnight is that green dotted line right there. We wrote it down, 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 down until we got stopped out 2 days ago, Thursday of last week, took a profit. On that bullish engulfing ER buy signal, the bottom day so far, we also had a bullish engulfing and got long. And there's the a day trade. Looks like it could have been a day trade profit, but very small. And wait a minute. Long, one long scalp, 407. One long scalp exit. It was a scratch. We bought it and sold both at 407, period. Now, 407 a quarter is our previous one short position trade, and that was way back over here. We're out. And also one long position entry at the same price as the scalp. We're long, and we're still long that one. We got stopped out the next day. One long position exit, 405. So we actually lost 2 cents. And we're out of that one. So ER1 scalp and overnight accounted for. Now ER3, as a result of Thursday's buy signal, that green horizontal line is the price at which I wanted to buy at. We came down very close to 403 and a quarter. Didn't get it on Friday. Went back up a little. Guess what today's low is? 403 exactly. That is one tick below my trigger point to buy because of ER3 strategy, because of this buy signal on Thursday of last week. And all of a sudden today, we have another buy signal after the market opened down here, hit my bid on the low of the day, missing it by one tick. It has turned around, and guess what? It's 410 right now. And we've been higher up to 411 and 3/4, it looks like. And we are long an ER3 scalp and an ER3 position trade. Now they were all bought at 40, both of those were bought at 403.25. And what can I say? The market is up here at 10, rallying into new high ground. I love it. Let's turn off the gobbledygook here. Those are the white text markers, and only leave the little green and red arrows and the trade lines, of course, and my stop, of course. Now our new stop is starting at this point, and we're going to start trailing it up on the ER3 overnight. And this brand new signal today is throwing out another ER3 potential buy for a scalp. Now, the overnight position we're not going to add on to, but we could catch an ER3 scalp within the next 3 days if we stay higher than the closing price of Friday, which looks highly likely. This is a reversal at the bottom of the market from two previous very profitable shorts to long positions based on signal at the low of the move so far. What a great comment. I don't think I've seen this before. Really. Brand new. Next. Okay. Wheat. Bought the bottom of the market. No new signal. Expecting a test of 564. Looking for long-term bottoms. Not quite able to justify anything yet. May take a few weeks or a couple of months. But who knows? If it fiddles around here and doesn't make new lows for the whole trend, it could very well be building some sort of a long-term bottom. I don't see it yet. There's possibilities of a couple different things, but there's no sense in talking about it unless you can start to visualize it. So neutral to bearish. Next, cattle. Don't really care much. Sideways. Maybe it'll test resistance again. This top might start to make new lows, in which case I'll turn bearish in solid opinion. Right now, I'm kind of a neutralish. Hogs. New high by a hair. New high close, maybe. Closing above all previous rally highs right there, right now. Very, very close. Maybe. Looks bullish, but we're in resistance. Not overbought yet. So I think we've got a little more upside than probably a top. Going back to the E-mini, what's happening? About the same as before. Excuse me, 1 5-minute chart. We rallied a little bit more and then came down some. And I want to get to the NASDAQ 1 minute. That's what's happened here. So nothing particularly profound to say about the last hour or two, except for a little rally. Have a great day and profitable trading to you.